Welcome to a little tomfoolery, Rob Little and Tommy Ryman. A podcast filled with laughs and gaffs, guffaws and haws, and maybe a picture of a dog. A little tomfoolery, a little tomfoolery, a little tomfoolery. A little tomfoolery, a little tomfoolery, a little tomfoolery. Fools!
What up, fools? Welcome to A Little Tomfoolery with your buddies, comedian Rob Little and Tommy Ryman. Straight out of Florida and Minnesota. We are here live for you folks, ready to have some fun. How y'all doing? Tommy, how you been, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. I'm so excited you're available to be on the podcast.
I'm going to say that to the next.
I can't believe we're 2 episodes in. Wow. This is just
I know it feels like just yesterday.
I know.
And I think one thing we've already been getting emails back from viewers. And one of our problems is we talk over each other sometimes.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, that's what I was saying when I was editing it.
Oh, no. Was it usually me?
Yeah, every time I would talk, you would talk over me. And then when you talk, I would try to talk over you. So it was a yin yang there.
Oh, no.
We'll get better at it. It's only our second time.
Yeah. So just listen to the other person when they talk. And then when you feel like it's time to chime in, then you can say something and then I'll listen, we'll just go back and forth. I think that seems like a good system.
It should. Yeah. I think it's been working for centuries. So I think I'm the bigger laugher on the podcast.
Definitely. I got to work on mine, because I'm just so serious and deadpan all the time.
Yeah. You're
you
working the
joy, but I feel like you're talking to like your accountant on the, like, you're just like, I don't know. This is who I brought to be my partner on this.
My accountant's pretty funny though too, so I don't know.
I smile though, but I don't have like a loud laugh. So for the listeners, they're like, Tommy probably is just angry this whole time, and then for the viewers, they're like, look at that sweet, sweet smile.
Are you still talking about me? Because I feel like
both.
I feel like you're running the board, and so you're trying to focus on that because we don't have somebody running the board yet.
Mm-mm.
Well, if you're just tuning in, everybody, welcome to our second annual podcast. Is it annual? How do we say that? Second
annual season finale. Series finale.
Yeah, we're gonna
pilot podcast.
I would love to start off. I don't know what you got on your list yet, Tommy, but I would like to start off by promoting something a buddy sent me today. I have a friend that's a pro bass fisherman. And he just created his own clothing line. It's called Big Bass Tough. And I don't know if the viewers can see, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. If not, he's got a website out now. And if you don't mind me promoting it, Tommy, I'd love to say it right now. It's called hookanddrag.com, HOOKANDDRAG.com. And he's allowing me and you, since it's our podcast and he thinks we're going to have millions of viewers and listeners, that he's allowing us to give out a discount code Sizzle, SIZZLE, Sizzle. Cool. And you can get a bunch off when you check out. So there you go. Rob Thrivner.
I just think that's rad too. Like, what a crazy job to be a professional bass fisherman. Because there's another person I know that her stepfather is a professional fisherman. I think that's just wild that's like, yep, I just go to contests and I do this and I catch the fish. Like, it's impressive, isn't it? I would never have thought that.
Well, people would say that about us too, about doing comedy. They think, oh, I could tell a couple knock jokes. I'm going to get paid for that. Yaka, yaka.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
but
no,
we're doing it.
I don't mean it's easy to be I'm just baffled that it blows my mind that that's like something you can do like that and a hot air balloon driver. I'm like, wow, how did you end up doing that?
My neighbor was a pro bass fisherman in the 70s. I didn't even know they had it in the 70s, but that he said he was gone. It sounded like our life. He was on the road all the time, and he had kids, and he had to support his family. So he would be trying to win these. And I don't
It's
know how
tournaments,
many.
right? Is that what they're
Yeah.
mostly? They go, and then there's only certain seasons too, unless they do ice fishing stuff. I don't know. That'd be
I don't think
interesting.
they have ice fishing tournaments. They might actually. That probably sounds stupid to say, but they probably do. But I think it's only certain type of fishermen, So these bass fishermen, yeah, you're right. They definitely have a season, and they have certain places they have to be, and a lot of it's in the South, a lot of Michigan, which I can't believe I never got into it growing up there.
Yeah, because I think that was my friend's stepdad did a tournament in Michigan too recently. That's what they.
Yeah,
I
and they
know a
can
lot
win
about
money.
this. So.
A lot of these guys win hundreds of thousands of dollars just catching fish, man.
And is it usually by quantity and weight? Probably.
It's
I don't
all
know.
weight.
All weight.
They have to bring in I think it's 5 fish in their total amount of weight, and that's what it. And then that's why you always see them showing 2 fish they're holding up, and they don't ever hold up their small ones. They hold
And
up
then
the big ones.
Right. These are the little ones. I got 75 of these, one big one.
Right.
That's great. That's so cool. And then I feel like I'm doing it wrong. You've been getting really into fishing. Like you've always liked fishing, but you seem like you've gotten really into it.
It's because
in the last
I'm
few
getting
years.
older, Tommy, and we're I don't know if you feel this way, but we're on the road so much, and we don't ever get to do anything on the road. So it gets old. Remember that one time I took you fishing in Iowa when we rented that boat? That was so fun.
Yeah.
And I just think what makes me happy, and that really makes me happy. So I love going out and doing that, and I don't get to do it enough, man. I hope you come down here, and then we'll go once I get my boat and everything. So
yeah. And then I dress like the other fish? That's how you catch them, right? Because I saw this cartoon where you dress up like a lady, like a cute fish, and you're like whoop woo, you whistle and stuff, and then the other fish are like, whoa, where's that girl coming from? And they swim up, and then you're like, gotcha, you just
yeah, you nailed it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
It's a new technique.
Hey, your gift is out in the mail. You should get it this week, by the way.
Oh, I'm so excited. I gotta leave.
I am too.
Thursday. I'm going.
Oh, that's when you're supposed to get it, I think.
Out of town, so I might not get it till Friday. But Megan will be here, so hopefully she can play it. Okay, I won't.
It's for you.
Yes, presents.
So this week I'm heading to Wichita.
Very cool.
You know anything about Wichita?
I don't know much about Wichita. I don't think I've been there. Is that the Looney Bins, or which club are you doing? Okay, so yeah.
Bin.
No, I only did the Oklahoma one. That I've never done all the other ones.
Now, a lot of times people don't know this, but the clubs always put you up, right? They put you usually in a hotel, but sometimes they own a house or an apartment, and they call it the comedy condo, right? And that's where you stay in, and you stay with the other comics. And that's kind of how Tommy and I became even better friends, is because we were stuck in condos a lot. And so we got to know each other really well.
Yeah.
This week, this is a special kind of club, because they put you in an apartment or something that's actually connected to the comedy club.
Wow. So you just get to roll out of bed and then just walk straight onto stage.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. My wall is the back of the stage.
Wow. So you're living in the green room. I love it.
Yes. Now, how do you feel about that when you get a club like that? What do you think? When
you're directly connected to the club?
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's nice, because you're not you're not trying to find parking or waiting for somebody to pick you up. That's a nice place. I like it if you can walk there or walk down to it, as long as the place is nice.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. You hear them locking up, they lock you in. You're locked in at night.
Weird.
That's how this one is. There's a back way you can leave, and they give you a key for that, but the front is you hear them locking up, and you're like, oh, I guess I better not. I guess I'm in for the night. If you want to go out and get a drink, you better make sure you got that key for the back, because you're not getting in otherwise.
Gotcha. Huh.
But here's something else you don't think about, and I didn't do this last time, but it just made me think about this. I could go out and do things on the stage when everybody's gone.
Yeah, you could practice.
I didn't even think of that.
And you could do You could set up practical jokes for the audience members, pranks. You could put like whoopee cushions on the seats. You have a lot of time to really create quite the environment.
Put some notes under the seats. Oh, I like this. I didn't even think of that last time.
Now,
Okay,
you get this place all to yourself though, or is there other
No.
comics with you this time? No.
There's another comic. Usually the feature act is with you.
Oh, in this locked in with you.
Yeah. We got our own rooms, and between our rooms there's a huge like living room and a kitchen, so it's not like our rooms are right next to each other.
Okay. You should make him switch rooms with you every couple hours.
Why?
I don't know. just be like, can I try this one again? Okay, no. Let's go back. Just as a headliner, I think that'd be, it'd be mean to tease. Don't do that. Talking about just messing with people. One of my early jokes that I told was about how I was gonna, when I have kids, I was convinced them they could fly, but I wasn't gonna tell them that they could fly. Okay. I was just gonna I was gonna move them from one room to the next every night, so they would wake up in another room and be like, "How do we get here?" Be like, "Oh yeah, you fly when you're asleep. You float to different rooms." And then sometimes they'd wake up and they'd be like, "Oh, you're moving me," and I'd be like, "Oh no, I caught you. You just fell."
Or you could say they teleport too. That would be kind of fun.
So you could do that with a feature. If you're bored, you could move him to the living room and be like, "You have sleep flying again."
No, I'm not doing that. I don't know who I'm with this week. That's the other thing. I miss taking you, buddy, because
I was so light and you could just lift me up and
yes, you were easy spots. To move.
I just wake up in dumpsters like, Rob, stop
on the roof of the car. Oh, you said something earlier I wanted to go backtrack to because I thought it was kind of a funny idea. How come you never hear of guys getting their blimp license, like to fly a blimp or fly it? Because you brought that up, and I thought they always talk about like airplane crashes, but what about a blimp crash? Like you're going down, I think you just hop off when you get close enough to the ground, right?
Well, there was the Hindenburg. That was the terrible blimp crash because that was filled with hydrogen. But now they're not filled with, or do they? I don't know what the Goodyear is filled with, but that was literally like the one time there was an accident, and they're like, "Well, this can't happen again." And then there's just been no blimp accidents since.
Right?
They really solved the problem. And then I don't know if you get that as a separate license than like a pilot license, or is that like a downgrade? Like if you do something bad as a plane pilot, they're like, Rodney, you're on the blimp. And he's like, I don't want to be the blimp guy. Come on. They're like, no, you got 2 weeks on the blimp. It's like, because it all.
Or they get downgraded to the guy that has to fly with the big banner on the back of the little single engine plane.
Oh yeah, the little advertisement.
Yeah.
Aw.
Have you ever been in a blimp?
I don't think I have. I've been in a glider and I've been in a plane, but I don't think I ever have done a blimp.
What do you mean a glider?
Where you're towed up by a plane.
You've done that?
Yeah, when I was a kid, my dad took us to Colorado, and me and my sister went in a glider. And
who drove the glider?
There's a pilot, and then we sit behind, and then he's just catching the updrafts from the mountains and stuff. But that gliding company, I guess later or a few years ago now, but like we were young, but that there was some accident where the plane that towed the glider up either crashed or hit another thing, but the glider was fine. But that would have been terrifying. So.
Wow.
But yeah, we had no incidents, and it's cool, but there's no engine, and then they just float you down. So
wow. I don't know anybody. You're the only person I've ever known that's done that.
Yeah.
Now, did it have wheels when you take off? Like, how do they pull it?
It must have, yeah, because it had to take off and land, but it just gets pulled behind the plane. So it's like,
wow, that's pretty cool.
Yep. And then we landed, and my dad was like, darn it, they came back. I thought they would.
What about a hot air balloon? Have you done that?
No, but that same trip, we were supposed to. And I guess a lot of hot air ballooning is like the weather has to be right, like, it can't be super windy, because we had to get up at like 6 a.m. and then my dad had to like call this place each day, and then they're like, nope, it's not on. So, and then we stayed an extra day hoping, but for some reason the weather, we never got to hot air balloon. because we had to move to
Oh.
go to our next part of the trip. And the other thing we were going to do that trip was llama trekking. My dad looked into where you can go hiking and then they give you a llama to like carry your gear, or like an alpaca.
Really?
Yeah.
And then
so
it gets all mad at you and spits at you.
maybe, I guess, but I was like, that is a super rad.
Wow.
So
We definitely got to do that. There's 100%. I don't even know. I'm going to look that up. Llama tracking,
llama
something
trekking.
like
Let me
that.
see if I can. I'll Google it and let's see if I can share it on the page here. Here, check this out. I'm going to share this article. So it says, lighten up your load, llama trekking in Colorado. Pretty sweet. Hit the trail with llamas, and you might just find yourself falling in love with the llama. These quirky creatures have a way of winning your heart with their smiley faces and gentle, loyal ways. Don't tell your significant other. This is weird. Why is there so much innuendo about
Why are they?
the llama?
Yeah.
You got to feed it charcuterie boards. What do they call that when there's the cheese and charcuterie? Charcuterie. Yeah. These
I think
llamas
you're
are.
closer than what I would be.
I like how. What if that was? It wasn't like.
That
Like, do you have llama food? Like, no. You got to give it a meat and cheese and fruit plate every night. That's what they
Meat
eat.
and cheese, right?
Not even. I haven't seen one yet with gear on. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Llama trekking tips. Before you head out with your 4-footed friend, it would behoove you to prepare yourself for certain. Who wrote this?
Why is it all about loving your llama?
Yeah, let's face it, llamas are ridiculously enduring. I have a picture of myself next to a llama.
Yeah.
That was at someone's wedding, and I was like, you can have llamas at a wedding? They had a petting zoo. It was brilliant.
Yeah, this is crazy, but we're doing it. We're gonna.
It does say look out for llama spit.
Why would you bring a friend with you if you're like, hey, could you carry my bag? Yeah, no problem. But I'm gonna spit on you every couple miles. So I'm just letting you know. Soon as you, when I'm walking by, no, when you're right facing me, I'm gonna spit right in your face. Would you? You wouldn't put up with that.
I probably wouldn't, but how much are they gonna carry? Because I'm a weak guy. So like, thanks, Rob. You got my bag? Yeah, I got your bag. Like, Rob, jeez, that was right in my eye. That's why I got to wear these glasses.
I guess we're going on the trek now. We should start a list of different things we want to do, like on vacations. Like,
right?
I would like to do those hikes, like the Arches and the one that's called the Wave. Have you seen that? Where it's like red and browns, and it looks like it's all been carved out by the wind, and they call it the Wave. It looks like waves.
Whoa, that sounds amazing. No.
It's in Utah, I think. Utah or Arizona, one of those. Utah, Reno, or Utah, Nevada, or Arizona, one of those three. We'll narrow it down. I can find it. Hey, when you said you went to that wedding that had pets, how boring were the couple getting married?
They were adorable. Well, I mean, like, you can have a DJ, and then they were just like, well, this was an option, and why wouldn't you have a petting zoo? But I did a bit about that. I don't know if it's on one of my albums, but it's they had a llama, like a donkey, a goat, but then they had the raccoon, and I was like, that's not supposed to be in a petting zoo.
Oh,
They have raccoons, and it was like in this cage, and I was like, did they lose the bunny rabbits that were supposed to be in there? And then
right?
Like, well, we promised them 12 animals, like we got a lobster, a raccoon, so they just put the raccoon in there, and they're like, this will work.
Wow. Could you ride the llamas? Can you ride them?
No, they were like in a little pen, but like I walked up to it, and you could pet them, and then you could take a selfie. Do they let kids ride animals as much anymore? Like, I remember when we were little, you could ride a pony, go on those, or you could ride an elephant sometimes. But I'm sure it's still at different places.
Like, I remember at a grocery store, they would have like 3 little ponies that kids could ride all the time. Your parents would do that, and they're like, okay, well, now we got to get our groceries. Let's go. But
just outside in where you grew up in Michigan, they just had.
Yeah. Well, it was a small town, and there wasn't, that was a big deal to see the ponies out front.
Yeah, that would be fun. We just had those little rides
that
you put the quarter in, and you just go, 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 go. And then we didn't get fancy ponies.
Yeah, we couldn't afford electronics. We just would call up one of the farmers to bring one of his pets up.
Yeah, they want to ride the pig today. Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Well, I'm gonna drop them off at the butcher.
Yeah, after he's done. Tenderize him up, kids. Where are you heading next? You said you got a gig this week?
Well, yeah, I have my first live show. I'm doing House of Comedy one night only to work on my hour. So I'm doing that this Wednesday, but who knows when this will air. And then I go to Floodwood, Minnesota. I'm doing a show there, and then I have Friday off, and then Saturday I drive all the way to Rugby, North Dakota, which is almost to Canada, to do
Wow.
a private event.
What kind of private event?
It's for a chamber of commerce. So
okay.
Those are fun because it's usually a
Yeah.
bunch of businesses, so that they feel like a pretty regular show because it's just a random assortment of people.
Yeah.
Megan's gonna come with me.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Do you ever do these things? I get asked this all the time, especially when you're from a smaller town. They always, like, every group that is in that town will ask you to come do a talk, like the Chamber of Commerce or the Rotary Club or any of those. Have you done those before?
Yeah, I've done quite a few.
Me too.
Of just like chatting at their conference.
Yeah, or their regular weekly meetings, and you're coming in as a guest speaker. So you basically eat lunch with them, and then you kind of tell road stories is basically all you do.
I've never done that. I've only just done these book shows. So they'll do their annual event and either mention who the new president is or something. And then they're like, and we booked a weird guy with glasses. He's going
Right.
to talk to you guys. He brought his llama. We're not sure what's going to happen.
I find this a lot of times too. You have to kind of test them because they want to hear crazy stories, but they have a limit on what they're crazy. Because our crazy, we've seen a lot. And so our crazy we got a high threshold for crazy on the road, but other people's crazy is not nearly our levels. So if you bring something up, it's amazing, like their reactions and stuff,
They're like
what? Yeah. I've worked a lot of lifestyle cruises, and I get asked, I'll get these little old ladies asking me about those, like a nudist resort. I've done those before, and they, tell us about those, and I'm secretly going, these people want to be at a nudist resort.
No.
Or something. It's weird though, with the specifics though, they want to know. It's almost like they're asking, like, how do I join? Pretty much.
So yeah, and
you ever had anything like that?
And what was the address? No,
Yeah.
I mean, people look at me
and
and
how much was membership?
They know that there's not wild stories behind my life. Probably there's like, okay, he's got a lot of dogs and a wife that looks similar to him.
Oh, speaking of dogs, I think you have we had talk about this yet or no?
I mean, we made the deposit where Megan and I are getting our third dog at the end of April. It's a Great Dane named Minnie. So she's going to be super adorable.
What made you go with your dogs are like 20 pounds and
Olive
maybe
is
not even a foot tall.
Yeah, Olive's 13 pounds. Harvey's 25. But just Megan wanted something bigger than, to cuddle with in the bed. She was like, Tommy clocks in at 137 and these Great Danes get to 180. And so I think that'll be
wow.
Yeah, I don't know how big it's going to get.
Those are massive, man. My parents had one growing up, and we used to ride it. We used to get on its back, and it'd ride us around the yard. And then when it would come in the house, it had its own couch.
Yeah, we have a giant couch now in the living room, so I think that'll be good for it. Yeah, it's going to be. I didn't know you had a Great Dane as a kid.
We didn't. It was parents' friends. Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't one of the ponies from the grocery store?
This is a Great Dane. I'd never forget it. But I think your dogs are going to be the boss of this Great Dane. I think the Great Dane will be like the big dumb guy, and they're going to be like, hey, this is how it works around here.
Well, we've been doing research, and Great Danes are really gentle. Like my dogs are super hyper, and Great Danes are actually pretty low key. Like they're big dogs, so they still want to go outside and run, but they're kind of like lap dogs that are giant.
Yeah, that is how they are. Yep.
Yeah, but we're just gonna have to make sure we super train this one because it can overpower us and take over the house.
And to be honest, the picture you sent me looked like it was already like a bigger puppy already.
Yeah, I didn't think the picture I sent you was a picture. I don't have it here, but to show people. But yeah, she was. I think she was 2 weeks old or 3 weeks old in that picture, and she's already bigger than Olive. Like by the time we pick her up, I think she'll be 40 pounds or something as a 8-week pup.
Wow.
And
How do you think your dogs will get along with her?
great. We've
Yeah.
taken our dogs to dog parks. They're really good socially with other puppies.
Yeah.
So, and then the cat's
Oh,
lived
that's
around
cool.
dogs and just keeps, to itself. And then it can jump up on things when it wants to get away. And then the Great Dane will be like, I can get up there too because I'm the size of a building. So
Right.
that'll be interesting.
Oh,
And then we got the hedgehog. So we're fully loaded to the max with animals.
I love hedgehogs. I actually bought a girl I was dating in California one, and I had it shipped from another state, and I had to go pick it up to the guy's house or something. That it was really kind of wishy-washy, but they didn't have them in California. I guess they're illegal there.
They are.
So I was totally doing something bad, but it was
Megan-
awesome. She loved it.
Well, when Megan and I moved to California, we had to bring the hedgehog, and we did look up. They're like, oh, I guess they're illegal, and so we had to smuggle Ethel into California, and then because they're an invasive creature, but it was fine. But the only trouble is if she had to go to the vet, we had to like find a vet out at I was like, do we got to drive her to Las Vegas? But there was some vets that would see exotic animals and stuff. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so we could because you don't want to be mean to the animal and not be able to care for it. So
Right.
but it was all just Megan.
It shouldn't be called an invasive species when they're hedgehogs. I mean, they're freaking adorable.
Yeah, and it's and we had it in Minnesota, and we're like, we're not just going to leave it at the border, like we didn't. So I think they would probably go after you if you were a breeder of hedgehogs, was what they would try to stop criminally, I guess. But nobody ever asked or reported us. But now I've incriminated myself. So
sorry.
The episode 3 will be from jail. It'll be interesting if they'll let me bring my podcast equipment in. Like, Rob, I'm not having fun.
Yeah, neither of us would make it in jail, but I can't imagine. I've had a dream like that once where I was in jail, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm in here for, and I just started being funny, and everybody liked me.
Well, because it's not going to be like Shawshank Redemption, right? Because that seems fun, where you kind of make a friend and you get to make chess pieces, and then you dig a big hole and you get out.
Yeah, you got to limp a little, right? Isn't that what he did to get the dirt out of his pocket every time?
Yeah, he'd walk around the fields and dump the sand.
Yeah.
Andy Dufresne.
I couldn't do it, but I would definitely be getting like cigarettes to give to guys for extra lunch, I think.
You like pudding cup trades.
Yeah.
Trades.
Yeah. Is that Salisbury steak? Yes. Here's some Marlboros. Having my mom send me boxes of them. When did you take up smoking?
Yeah. These are bad for you. Like, no, I'm trading them for better. I just thought we'd end the podcast. They all just kind of peter out. Like we just kind of one of us wanders off and we're like, oh, Rob is gone. I guess it's over. We mentioned Salisbury steak too much and he ran off he's got hungry. But we will talk to you next week. This has been a little tomfoolery with Rob and Tommy. You can catch Rob all weekend in Wichita. Or check his website at roblittle.com to find out any current dates, because those when this airs, that he will not be there anymore.
Probably. Yep. And with Tommy, you can check out TommyRyman.com and get all of his tour dates. And he is doing private shows that you can't come to. So tough luck.
Boy, I'm just want to thank you again for having me, Rob. I just love doing your podcast. You bring me on.
I feel the same way, Tommy. I always love being here with you, and you always put on a good show, and I appreciate it.
Oh, we're happy to have you here, Rob.
Happy to have you here. All right. With saying that, guys, thanks for listening to A Little Tomfoolery. And I've been one of your hosts, Rob Little.
I'm Tommy Ryman.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, fools.